Daily Broadside, day 662. I don't think I'm totally comfortable with the fact that we pronounce the word longevity with two G's. Let that sink in. It's kind of weird that we're rocking that word with the double G. There's not a lot of double G's in the world that we enunciate the way we do with that. Heard somebody say yesterday they were on a fixed income. It kind of pissed me off. Everybody's on a fixed income. Everybody in the world. Jeff Bezos is on a fixed income. If Jeff Bezos went to his wife and said, honey, I want a $50 billion yacht, she'd be like, we can't afford that. We're on a fixed income. We only make, $17.2 billion a year. We can't afford a $50 billion. Like everybody has a fixed income. It's just a matter of how relative and fixed it is. And I'll tell you another thing that I don't like, a dumb saying that we all use, and it's not really a saying. It's just, well, I guess it is. I'm on a diet. Trying to lose weight. Just a little diet. Everybody's on a diet. A diet is defined by what you eat. Go to a zoo and ask them what a diet is. Is this giraffe on a diet? Yes, he eats a lot of leaves. That's his diet. It consists of leaves. I don't think giraffes eat meat, but if they did, that would be in their diet too. So we all have a diet. So it's kind of weird that when you think of diet, you've been manufactured to believe that when you are on a diet, that is a quest to lose weight by virtue of how you consume calories and food and whatnot. When really we need another word, because everybody's on a diet, and we need we could come up with a word like Corad. I'm on a Corad, which means I am taking my diet to a level twixt will make me lose weight. And then we don't have to rummage through the word diet when it really doesn't mean what we think it means. Yeah, that girl that had the longest fingernails in the history of the world, which I'm sure if there's a God, he's up there just going, bless, I have a headache in my eye. These people are so stupid. That kind of thing. Because I can think of few things in my life that you could do to my body that would make me more uncomfortable and impractical and just annoyed as can be than making me have fingernails that I had to lift up to here when I was standing so that they wouldn't drag the ground. Could you imagine? First of all, I don't know what kind of genetic disposition you need to be able to grow stuff that long. I think the longest I've ever had my nails is short. But the fact that they can even do it, that's kind of impressive. But why you would do it, I have no idea. It's the same thing with like people with Crystal Gale type hair. Like, remember that lady in the Guinness? There's always a Guinness Book of World. Guinness, I keep saying add to a T to it, and there's probably not. There's a picture in the Guinness book back in the day where she's like sitting over a balcony and her hair is down to like the second floor, like below she's on like a mezzanine or something. And also, let's stop calling floors mezzanines that are not true mezzanines. If they don't overlook a lower floor, it's not a mezzanine. There needs to be some kind of balcony by definition, It's like a parkway or a boulevard, You can't have a boulevard, I think it's a boulevard or a parkway by definition has to be like a tree line. It has to be tree lined. It can't just be a median. It has to be like a tree lined median that separates one oncoming lane from another. And if you don't have that, you can't call it, Johnson Boulevard. That's Johnson Road because there ain't no boulevard. You got to have that feature in there. It's a definitive part of the definition of that word. Also, did you know that while I'm thinking about it, the post office uses like 50, 60 different road, boulevard, street, court, place, parkway. They've got all these things that they recognize, and there's way more than you think. There's about 10 or 11 that we might know right off. And then you get to the, when you get to like way, like, that's probably the end of it. Way is pretty uncommon. And then you go deeper and the post office has come up with a million more. But anyway, what I was saying was, if you've got those long nails, like that is, I don't understand what the weight of the two things are. You got that long hair that is so long, it drags the floor behind you. You look like a wedding train walking down the road. So you got to wrap all this crap up in like a beehive. I don't even know how you transport out of that, looking like Marge Simpson or something. But what is the I mean, yeah, you get a lot of gawkers and people going, oh, that's crazy, man. Like, that woman has nails that are like 72 feet long. They're all curled up and looking weird and whatnot. But what do you do? Do you make money with that? Like, how are you a circus freak? Like, how are you making money? And how do you not? I would accidentally break those things the first half hour I had them. I've got the longest nail, son of a, and I'd crack them right off. And then I would just have a display case in my house with the longest nail, or I would just carry it around with. I don't know what I do, but people wouldn't even believe it was a nail because it looks so disgusting anyway. It's like one of those ram horn things that comes out of the toe when you got one of those ram horn toes. I think it's a ram horn. Google ram horn toenail and tell me that's not disgusting. Podiatrists they must masturbate to weird stuff, because that's a sick group right there, because they can get disgusting. Anyway, I've gotten off track once again. But yeah, so what is she doing that's making her income? And how much money could that be to make you want to continue down the road of having those damn nails that be that nasty and long and whatnot? Could you imagine her in like a defensive homicide, and they're in there in the autopsy, and they're scraping defensive fingernail scrapings of skin from the suspect up off her nails, and it takes them they got to go to Lowe's and get shovels. I mean, it's just taking them forever, and they've just got bags and bags of defensive scrapings from all that. She could fight off so many attackers. It could be like a gang of people trying to off her, and they would never get to the end of the fingernail scraping. CSI should have had I've never seen CSI, but I could only imagine that there were a lot of offings in that, and I don't guess they were just investigating burglaries and whatnot the whole time, but, maybe that would have been an interesting episode, How are we ever going to get all these fingernail scrapings, Bob? I don't know, Sammy, but we've got to do it. Dun, dun, dun. I don't remember the music or anything. But yeah, I don't understand how she makes money and where she goes from there. I'd cut those things off so fast. And you imagine the relief, you cut that stuff off, or you cut that 93 pounds of hair off and everything. And then you're like, oh, I can get a regular job and wipe my ass and do all these other cool things, like tie shoes. I've been wearing slip-on shoes for the last 79 years. It's just a strange existence, I got to tell you. It's a strange existence as we do. And I was watching Carpenter Bees yesterday, and bees are idiots. I mean, they're great. I'm getting ready to raise some. I'm looking at getting a swarm as we speak. I'm looking into what that's going to cost and how I do it and what I do not to kill them and whatnot. I'm thinking about getting Russian bees because they're a little more aggressive, and I kind of like that. But I like that aggression in an animal. But I was watching this thing, and I thought to myself, the haphazard way that this thing gets from point A to point B, if bees were like us and created roads for themselves, it would be the biggest spaghetti ball on planet Earth. They would just have roads going they can't just go from here to here, because, they're looking for pollen and stuff. Like, just go from one, you see the other plant. Like, I've gotten all the pollen here. There's not a lot of pollen. Yeah, I think I got it all. Yeah, y'all ready to go? All right, I'm going to head over to that plant over there. But I'm going to take a really circuitous route so that it takes me 47 miles to get, betwixt the two. Their road system would be insane. They'd really have to tax the piss out of everything to pay for all those potholes they'd create and whatnot. But anyway, that was dumb. Y'all have a great one, Giddy.